we have invited this young Indian representative and I, as a WN representative, also to ask the question to MD and ED, sir, based on their industry, whatever the issues that their members are also facing that.
Perfect, Ji.
So this is how, Aditya ji, we have been doing that. Ramkumar sir, ye FAJ school, if you have heard the name of FAJ and other things, so he heads that, Aditya ji.
It's one of our small non-profits. We are we've been there for many years, and in fact, we've been banking with Punjab National Bank for a long time. In fact, my first personal bank account was with PNB.
But definitely, you need to mention it to MD sir.
I will. I mean, it's a very close thing. And I think my mother's, all her jewelry, also a safe deposit box that's there. So I still, as a kid, remember to go to the
PNB branches and to take
branch bank, and then I used to still have that bank booklet, and I learned how to do my first banking.
So I suppose my first bank account was also opened in the PNB at Calcutta.
Wonderful, Ji, wonderful.
all have the all our life first with PNB, sir. रामकुमार सर आपकी म्यूट में है.
हाँ नहीं अब.
Sorry.
हेलो.
हाँ सर.
हाँ म्यूट कर दिया है मैंने.
So now it's all right, sir. मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि sir, everybody whoever is in the panel, they have got their first bank account with PNB.
Yes.
In fact, I think.
Yeah. Delighted to have that.
Live. I think we are already streaming live, and think we now have all the attendees.
Okay, so is MD CEO is not in coming? Aditya ji, your voice is cracking.
Now you can speak.
Jyoti, should we call the MD?
I suppose we can call the MD, Miss. I think, Ramkumar sir, I think we can start. We already have 350 participants with us.
Yes. हाँ मैं अभी करता हूँ.
Absolutely, and I think the problem is this WebEx system doesn't have the green room mode. So
that's the issue. Whatever that the facility that other software provides. Ask Mishra sir is here. Aditya ji, I was mentioning about BN Mishra sir. He's there, sir.
And we have our
General manager marketing, sir. He was the entire man, and his team has also coordinated this entire event.
Andy, thank you so much. CII deeply appreciates it. I think all our members and attendees. Very great.
अच्छा बस ठीक है.
Ramkumar ji, welcome.
हाँ जी sir, welcome.
Chandrasekhar ji, we have our CGM MSME, Mr. Rajiv Puri.
Okay.
Who was heading our Delhi zonal, Mumbai zone.
Welcome, Rajiv sir.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And our Asaf Gupta ji, he's the man on the spot now. He is Mr. MSME of the bank.
अच्छा ठीक है सर.
Okay.
Sir, am I audible right now, Aditya ji?
Yeah. Yes.
Then it's all right. Then I will not use that earphone. Let sir come, so then we can start the event. आदित्य जी, आज आपका नेट थोड़ा सा स्लो है लगता है. Your voice is cracking in between, or we are just misplacing you in between.
No, it should be fine.
Jyoti, how many such episodes you have done on MSME so far? I think every.
Sir, how many? Sorry, BN Mishra sir, I missed you.
How many webinars you have conducted? Because every week I see Jyoti in the news.
सर अभी तक हमारे पास में 450 लोग ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं सर, और हमारे पास में लगभग 3000 रजिस्ट्रेशन है.
Oh, wonderful.
No.
So everybody is there, sir. I suppose MD sir is here. So now we start.
MD sir has joined. I think our MD
Very good evening, sir. Nitinjay sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Mallikarjun Rao sir, very good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening.
Very good evening, Azad sir.
Good evening.
Sir, Misra sir, can we start?
You can start, please.
Okay. Very good evening, everybody all here. During this period, this is the endeavor of CII to bring the businessmen and the bankers there so that both sides can understand the changing requirements and also adjust accordingly. Regarding PNB, we would like to just mention that it is the first Swadeshi bank ranging back to year 1895 from there and started with a mere working capital of only 20,000 rupees and emerging as the second largest public sector bank both in terms of business and network is a phenomenal feat. Turning over 125 years with 115 million customers is a remarkable maneuver. We are thankful to you, Mr. Mallikarjun Rao sir, MD and CEO, Mr. Ajay Kumar Azad sir, ED of PNB. We are also thankful to Mr. B.N. Misra sir and Ram Kumar sir, Chief General Manager PNB, for helping us in making this happen. In this town hall meeting, we would like to cover the following agenda for the time being. Government has come up with various measures to help the industry. How is PNB gearing up to ensure that the delivery of the schemes announced by the government to the industry at large? Point number 2, industry is entering into a new paradigm. How are the bankers seeing the changing requirements of the industry? Point number 3, with so much of uncertainty predicting cash flow, whether it is in short term or in long term, renewals, fresh appraisals, new loans, etc., how bankers are going to view it differently? How new words like credit rating, long-term finance, big-ticket finance, infrastructure finance are a matter of concern. How the bankers will look into all these words into a different paradigm altogether. Besides this, sir, we would like to take a lot of questions from our members and Aditya, there is a lot of noise which is coming. ITT members are complaining about some noise.
Jyotiji, I think it's maybe at your end. I think because your speaker might be too close to your microphone.
So what I would like to do, first of all, I would like to invite Mr. Aditya Balia ji to give the welcome address. In the meantime, I would like to sort it out. Yes, Aditya ji, you can start with your welcome address.
Brilliant. A very warm welcome to all of our panelists and audience members. I am deeply grateful to have Mr. Rao and Mr. Azad sirs. I know this is a very, very busy time and your schedules are jam-packed. I think I speak for all of CII and industry that we are grateful that you took out time from your very busy schedule to come and address our MSME and SME members and take a frontline leadership in explaining to them what PNB can do, especially in this time of crisis. I think in the last 3-4 months, it has become very clear that banks and banking are now frontline workers. We normally think of frontline workers, particularly in terms of healthcare workers, police, and such. But in order to ensure that our economy continues to operate, bank and banking facilities, and especially therefore bankers, have become frontline workers, taking a very, very hard risk to their own health and safety to ensure that our country keeps going. Without a healthy economy, India will not have the capability to fight COVID-19. We have already seen this, that if there is no revenue for the state, there is no revenue for the industry. Even as we prioritize healthcare, we still need to have funds available, resources available, and manpower available to continue the fight until a long-term solution is found. Now, ICMR has already said that they expect COVID-19 to peak sometime in November, and there are rumors that we would have a vaccine by then. But regardless, the long-term damage that COVID-19 has had on our economy and on our industry has happened. And it is time all of us get together, unite, to really see how we can unleash a new era of growth. We talk about this new this phrase, the new normal. Now we need to start looking at it not as new normal, but just the normal. In this time, particularly this past 60 to 90 days, there are two types of banks. Banks who have taken great leadership. Banks who have stepped up and said that, look, we are there for our clients, we are there for industry, and we are there for the country. And there are other banks who have become shy. They have hidden away. They don't want to put themselves out there. I'm very grateful that PNB is one of those banks who has taken great leadership. And I think this is a testimony to the leadership of the senior management led by Mr. Rao, that how they have grabbed the bull by the horn, so to speak, and said that we will be there for industry during these hard times. We have seen pre-COVID-19, there was a lot of stress on MSME balance sheets coming in. There were thoughts of a small economic slowdown, even possibly a recession. But with COVID and then the multiple lockdowns and now unlocks, this has become a serious matter. Our internal surveys in CII show stress across segments, and with a large number of SMEs and MSMEs saying that unless they get help and support, they will not be able to survive till the end of the year. We all know that demand will be back. The India story is very powerful, and it continues to outperform most other economies in the world. So right now, industry particularly needs help and support to bridge until December, until Jan or Feb of next year, so that they are there when this demand comes back, and we are already seeing the economy start to recover. This new uncertainty and this new way of doing things, whether it is work from home, social distancing, these are trends that will continue to exist well beyond COVID-19. And this also means that we must usher in a new way of doing banking. And this is a great opportunity for many banks to take forward their online and digitalization efforts, but also to come out with new products and services that set them apart from their competitors and truly add value during these troublesome times, but as well after them. And India is, particularly in the SME and MSME space, is still very much underbanked. And we need leaders like PNB to take another step forward and to be there for SMEs and MSMEs. And only when banks like this really take their mission of support as passionately as PNB does, will the Indian economy truly recover. With that, Ji, I invite Shri Rao, MD and CEO of PNB, to give his opening remarks. Thank you so much, sir, for being here.
So welcome, Mallikarjun Rao, sir, for your inaugural address.
To all of you, and during the course of our interaction, we will try to give more option for the people to come with their queries. Initially, what I would do is the overall perspective of the framework, how we are going through currently, and how we need to handle them very sensitively to see that the economy comes back. And my colleague ED, Mr. Ajad, will dwell upon what are the initiatives taken by the bank and also the initiatives which government has taken forward as part of the 20 lakh crore, wherein certain areas are there which are being implemented through the bank. Now, if you look back on the framework, we are all aware that even much before the COVID impact started creating on us, the MSME was passing through tough time, even prior to COVID as well. That is the reason why there was a window of Reserve Bank of India which was open for the banks to undertake restructuring of MSME advances which were under standard category, but their visibility in future as per the repayment schedule given at that point of time probably will have certain amount of strain. As a result, there was a restructuring window specifically opened for MSMEs. So the result is that MSMEs were passing through little tough time. Now, COVID has further complicated the issue, not only to the MSMEs, but across the country, all the sectors, whether MSME or mid-corporate or otherwise, got impacted. As a result, suddenly demand has dampened. Even if somebody is ready to take the initiative in undertaking either manufacturing or otherwise, but the demand has dampened. When the demand has dampened, there was no scope. And MSMEs continue to incur the fixed cost, even when the COVID impact is overplaying over them with respect to social distancing, demand not being there, industry is not functioning to the requirement. However, they are still grappling with the fixed cost where they need to spend in order to continue manufacturing once the COVID impact is coming out. Then there are sectors, if you look at sector wise, some of these sectors might come back immediately with a lot of animal spirit, but some of these sectors might not come immediately because of the social behavior which is going to be played out post-COVID in among all of us. For example, hospitality industry, tourism industry, aviation industry, these industries probably may get impacted. They may not come back as easily as other sectors do come. These are the tough times which we have never seen before, unprecedented times. As a result, it also requires unconventional way of resolving the issues. The resolving issues will not be fitting into any formulaic approach. It requires multi-dimensional and multi-agency concentrating on looking at these things. As a banker, our involvement will be limited to giving the lending to them to reach out in time. Whereas there are other segments like state government, central government, all others who are there also required to contribute for lifting the MSME. One greatest advantage of our country is the demand, domestic demand is pretty high. That is one of the great advantages in our country. If you look at in the post-pandemic, there are some countries who live only on exports. The domestic consumption capability is very less. They have to depend on exports, and if the exporting countries where they are doing, if there is no demand there and they don't give the orders, the country will continue to suffer. Whereas in our country, such kind of problem is not there. On the contrary, it is more important for us to depend on our domestic industry and not depend on the imports. If we are able to create such an impact in the country, if the entire domestic demand is catered by our own industries, our own traders, then it will be really fantastic to come forth. Now, when we look at the situation, how the economy can come back fast. We have seen the cases are improving, but majority of the viewpoint is that probably by July end or up to mid of August, the peaking will happen, and later on it will go down. So if it goes down regarding the cases, we expect the economy also to come back. Already we are seeing export orders coming to the industry. We have seen when we were discussing with various people in the industry, they indicate that export orders started coming from Europe and other countries, whereupon it is only a matter of time to complete the operating cycle and send the exports. Similarly, slowly green shoots are also appearing in the domestic economy, where the impetus will come in a much better manner in the days to come. So what we look at is moderate improvement will start from this month, maybe mid of this month or 1st of August onwards. But the higher impact in coming back of economy, we can see from 1st of October onwards with greater vigor when they come. Now here again, those industries who are dependent more on technology will come back very faster. Those who are dependent on high labor intensive will have to take very good element of precautions in terms of the social behavior while working in the organization by taking all the precautions. Nevertheless, the intent on the part of all the industries, more importantly MSME, is very vigorous. They are longing to come back to normalcy as fast as possible. That is the greatest intent what we are seeing. Now, support from the bank will always be there. In fact, the COVID has also taught us a wonderful lesson as to how we can reach out to our existing customer on a faster pace. In terms of the government scheme, what has been implemented, details of which will be discussed by my colleague, we have learned to reach out to our customer in a very effective manner and understand his requirement and go for immediately satisfying the need. So these are very tough times. Every bank needs to move forward. Societal behavior also will undergo change because of this COVID impact. You will no longer see the behavior of the general public or citizens of our country the way they were doing pre-COVID. I don't think they will undertake post-COVID, because it is more psychological in nature, number one. Number two, more precautionary in nature to move forward. I tell you, even the insurance industry will have wonderful business, because today the greatest problem in our country, I don't say problem, the shortcoming in our country is sensitivity for life insurance and sensitivity for insurance of the accidental insurance. Everybody, people who are in the rural and semi-urban, they are more concerned about the money required for their living rather than keeping aside the surplus for insurance. But today they realize that even living effectively when there is a problem to meet the requirement of his expenditure has become so part of it that probably the demand for insurance also may increase in the days to come, which is good for the economy, which is good for the citizens of the country, because you can expect them to be more careful in terms of their living and their requirements. So this COVID is going to teach us, rather it has already taught us many new things, many good things. There will be more calibrated approach in terms of the people in their living standards, in pursuing their avocation, whether it's an industry, trading, or even employment for that matter. There will be a more calibrated and careful approach in the living standards, which probably was not there across entire spectrum of the population in our country. So in order to come out of this unprecedented impact which is created, there are certain decisions taken by various stakeholders. To start with, Reserve Bank of India has come out with a moratorium initially for 3 years, but they have extended up to August, whereby the stress available in the borrower accounts, where there will be pressure for them to make repayment, that has been already given. Punjab National Bank has given by default to everyone except for NBFCs, where we have given them the moratorium on case-to-case basis on ascertaining certain factors by taking their request. However, all other borrowers have been given. But it is more heartening to note that many of the borrowers who are having their cash flow have repaid the money. Even if moratorium is given, they have repaid the money as per the repayment schedule without affecting the moratorium. That is really a very good thing, that in the customer behavior, borrower behavior, they do not want to carry the debt burden even if moratorium is given. That is one important thing what we have seen across the banking industry, not only PNB, but across the banking industry as well as in the NBFC sector as well. The people have come forward to make the payment when their cash flow was permitting without any impact on their daily working. So these are all the overall issues which we are looking at. Another issue from your side, what you have to look at, probably I suggest, is that the protection of cost of production and cost of sales. The reason is, loan can be given by us and the lending will happen immediately, but how far the borrower is able to produce the same in a cost effective manner, and how far he is able to remain in the competition in terms of the sales price. If the sales price is going to be lower than cost of production, then there won't be any margin and there will be a loss. What kind of margin he is getting? This is a very important factor for the borrower to look at. More importantly, when the fixed cost has overplayed in the last 4 to 5 months during the moratorium period, where the operating cycle has not been working. So they'll have to look at very effectively, if required, the associations like you and chambers of commerce and governments also they can look at. Certainly government's intent is to increase more manufacturing domestically in the country and less dependence on imports. But the problem is, if you look at in textile sector globally, there are a lot of competitors for us. The Bangladesh is a very tough competitor for us. Now, if we are depending on exports to US or Europe, if Bangladesh is manufacturing at a lower cost, they are able to compete with our price. So our exports may get dampened. So these are all the broader issues. Probably various export promotion councils are there. They will have to look at and guide the entrepreneurs accordingly to see that they are able to manufacture and send the goods and see that their operating cycle comes forth to normalcy. There is one more dimension. When I was indicating that pre-COVID, certain issues were there with NBFC. There were issues related to their receivables realization. Many of the MSMEs got struck because of the receivables were not getting realized in time. We have also seen large corporate industry getting impacted in the last 2 years. As a result, the ancillary industries being MSME, they also got impacted. So that is one of the reasons. Now, in order to overcome that, government has already taken an initiative of TREADS platform and brought down the level of turnover for becoming a mandatory member. It is a good sign. Once the TREADS platform covers as many corporates as possible, and once the MSME supplies them the goods and the invoice is accepted by them and routed through the TREADS platform, there is a window open for monetizing the receivables. Then immediately operating cycle also gets rotated in a faster scale. So there are that is why I said it is not only the lending that can ameliorate the current situation. There are various stakeholders in the economy. Everybody has to work through multi-dimensional approach. Then MSMEs can come back to normalcy. So on this note, by discussing about the framework, I'll request my colleague, Mr. Ajad, to take it forward related to the initiatives taken in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, friends. See, as we are aware, and our MD already explained how this COVID is affecting us in different way. Primarily, as the sector-wise, if you go, I want to more sector-specific, because as Sahab already said, it's affect different way in different sectors. Say like agriculture, if you say major sector agriculture, MSME and other retail and others, corporates, agriculture is the least affected. It's not that what I mean to say it's affected, not affected, but least, because monsoon are good. Next Rabi crop is going to be expected to be good. In spite of that, we are, even though our doors are open to the agriculture, as you know, in Kishan, 100% Kishan credit card. For the other sectors of allied activities of agriculture is also we have started sanctioning in animal husbandry and fisheries people, so that there should not be any starvation in those category also, including earlier the credit Kisan card is mainly for the growing of the crops. Now it is available for the animal husbandry and others. So for agriculture, which is comparatively less effective due to this COVID impact, we are there also to support our society. Say the first we can start with the government's direct benefit of the caste. As you all aware that whatever the direct benefit from the government side, distribution of 500 or 1,000 rupees per account, it's coming, it's our people who is distributing across India. Even in that situation, when though the cases were less, but fear was very high in COVID, initial days. Now the cases are more, but fear is comparatively less. Earlier, cases were less, but fear was high. And you know the mortality in our people has affected in branch level, at our level, office level, and everywhere. But still, we are serving our society with the same zeal what we used to do earlier. Now coming to the major sector, in your speech and our sub speech, we got detail about MSME, which is the most vulnerable and most affected sector as on date in many ways. So for that, as Sahab has already told, and you all are aware, first thing what we did, which were the in SME category, you on 29th February, we have extended as per RBI guidelines. Now it's extension up to the 31st August. So there is need not to be worry about the installment and interest in this period. One thing is more important, even all the circular, it is clear that there is no waiver. They have to pay whatever the charges in this period, the interest and other, up to March 21. So far what the timeline has given. But it's certainly a relief. Thereafter, there are many schemes floated by the government and the bank to help these people which are affected in MSME category and most affected. You know that first such a scheme was, we have started with the COVID-19 emergency credit facility, where we are giving 10% of the existing working capital limit available to the borrower under SME 0 and 1 category. And in this scheme, we can go up to 100 crore even. So all category, a small to big one. The next liberalized scheme was also liberalized working capital assessment. As you are aware, where we have reduced our margin and all other criteria for the assessment of working capital, so that the mid size, especially the mid size and the lower, just not micro but above micro and other sectors, other MSME borrowers are get benefited in this scheme. The third and most important, which is very important scheme, which is just announced by the government, that guaranteed 100% guaranteed scheme, 20%, where the 20% it's a famous in the name of 20% scheme, and there the 100% guarantee we are getting from the government, where in Punjab National Bank we have around 4,89,000 account, Gupta ji, around 4,89,000 account, and out of that we have already sanctioned 3,83,000, no? 4 lakh. So now the thing has improved. 4 lakh plus already we have sanctioned, and where the most of the part of disbursement is also there, but now disbursement is going on, and probably by this 15 we'll be able to disburse entire amount in this scheme, which is the total amount around 8,000. Yes, 8,000, 9,000. Now then 9,000 approximate, and the total borrower is 4 lakhs we have crossed, but we have to reach 4,89,000 crore. So this is the third. Thereafter, standby line of credit. Then moratorium period, as I said. So we have a scheme for everywhere, and the another scheme we received very recently, and we are pushing it forward for the street vendors and other, the 10,000 scheme. You know, it's famous. We have already formulated, we have circulated in the branch. Only the sponsor application has to come. Some criteria is there, and those street vendor who has affected most, as you are aware, and the laborers, for those, that scheme is already there. Another scheme also came for the estate assets, where there is a estate asset. Now we are going to fund them also, and there you will be surprised to know the repayment period is 10 years. 7 years they have to pay only the interest amount. Principal will be after 7th and between 7th and 10th, 8th and 10th. So all such schemes are there. Banks are there, especially PNB there. We are there for everyone, to the street vendor, to the farmers, to the laborers, and you think of, we are there with a scheme. I think in nutshell, this is sufficient. If anybody wants to know something more, we are here to answer. Only I can assure you, if anybody have any problem, our contact person is there in the head office. We are ready to serve. We are very much proactive. We have sufficient fund with us. There is no paucity of fund, and we are there to help the people of our country just in this difficult time. Thank you.
Yeah, just continuing with a couple of points, which in your opening remark, you have indicated about cash flow, how the computation will take place at the bank's perspective. Second is digital. I would like to tell you that the cash flow can be definitely estimated for future based on pre-COVID situation. So there would not be any impact on the assessment. Only thing is the customer should have confidence that he will be able to achieve that once the economy is coming back. In fact, I tell you, some of the customers with animal spirits can get more turnover in the residual period as equivalent to the last year. But it all depends upon the entrepreneurs, and also it depends upon the sector. However, bank will be open to assess based on the pre-COVID situation. Second, digital. Digital is going to be the order of the day. The more and more you adopt to digital, it also accentuates flow of credit as well as realization of the receivables. Now, more and more intertwining is there in the economy with respect to operating cycle. So it would be immensely useful if the MSMEs are adopting digital on a big way. So on this note, we are open for any discussion from the participants.
Fantastic, Rao sir and Ajaz sir. You have been extremely brilliant in terms of explaining all these schemes that you have. Just one or two doubt of mine, and so this sir. Uske baad we'll have all the question answers from all the esteemed panelists also, sir. Ajaz sir, you have mentioned about that 20% scheme. If that scheme says that on a particular date, 20% of the outstanding loan would be given as the credit. What
Yes.
humble submission was that to the banker like you is that why not the bankers evaluate the real requirement of the company? यदि suppose कर लीजिए सर 100 रुपए की requirement यदि हमारी आती है उसके अंदर से 40 रुपए यदि वो स्कीम के अंदर में फिट होता है, so that 40 rupees you can give it at a lower cost of fund but the balance amount it can be given at a banker's rate of interest whatever is that. Otherwise, sir, we fear that liquidity issue of this temporary liquidity issue will convert into a solvency issue later on if we don't assess the working capital cycle at the present moment and thereafter we give the loan. So this 20% scheme, if it can be little bit broad-hearted and it can be looked at from that industry perspective at the ground level, I suppose this would better help the industry at last, sir.
No, I'll give one example to your query. For example, somebody has, let us say, 10 crores of limit as on 29th. However, the outstanding is only 4 crores.
Correct, sir.
So if 4 crores is there, is eligible only for 20% of the same, where it will be 8 crores. Now, in reality, his outstanding is 10 crores. Okay. Now, with respect to your query, this example, if it is meeting your query, banker can definitely look at. That means the funding to the extent of 20%, that is 8 crores, will be provided to him at the cost where we are giving it 7.5% interest rate. But the other requirement, we can reach out to him. But here, kindly keep it in mind, it will be within the overall working capital assessment what we make. In the current context of example, what I had given, it fits into that category. So bankers are open for that. And we can definitely, if any case comes to us, we will take it forward immediately.
सर इसके अंदर एलसी और बीजी लिमिट नहीं कैलकुलेट सर वी आर नॉट कैलकुलेटिंग द नॉन फंड बेस्ड रिक्वायरमेंट बिकॉज़ वंस यू आर डूइंग द वर्किंग कैपिटल असेसमेंट वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द फंड बेस्ड रिक्वायरमेंट एंड आल्सो द एनएफबी रिक्वायरमेंट आल्सो सर हाउ डू यू कैलकुलेट दैट सर बिकॉज़ आई थिंक
guarantee cover extended by government of India, guarantee cover extended by government of India is applicable to fund based outstanding. However, non fund based outstanding and assessment can definitely be undertaken by the bank separately.
See, the normal banking is open.
Yes.
We are not closing the normal
Correct.
banking door. It is there. This is in addition to that.
करेक्ट सर तो सर हमारा हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट यही था कि सर हमारी जो वर्किंग कैपिटल साइकिल की असेसमेंट प्रॉपर्ली करी जाए उसके बाद सर व्हाटएवर इज द गवर्नमेंट गारंटी स्कीम व्हाटएवर उसमें फिट होती है उस आप उतना अमाउंट के लिए देयर कैन बी वन रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट एंड देयर कैन बी अनदर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट फॉर द बैलेंस अमाउंट so this can be this is our humble request to you
Yeah, it can be done without any problem.
It's already there. There is no problem. If they are fit into the overall assessment of the working capital, we can have 20% of outstanding in there. Another way, if the criteria is everything is fulfilled, he can get the other amount also in the form of fund based and non-fund based.
Sir, now we have invited our Young Indians group, which is the CII Young Entrepreneurs Program. Varun Jain is here. He is the chairman of Young Indians. Yes, Varun, you can go. आपका जो भी क्वेश्चन है, MD sir is here properly. Sir, Varun represent the young entrepreneurs, or he represent the young entrepreneurs in India.
Okay.
Sir, thank you very much. Wonderful session, sir. Thank you very much. And it is very inspiring what you said. It gives a lot of motivation. So, sir, as Jyoti ji mentioned, I represent the Young Indians wing of CII, which is made up of young entrepreneurs in business, men and professionals. So, sir, as you have done a wide study and you are in touch with so many sectors and businesses, so particularly in MSME, where have you seen some new emerging opportunities for MSMEs to start entering and starting new businesses? And that is a question, sir, we get very often from our members asking, what are the new opportunities that are emerging in this current situation?
So, what are the opportunities for us, sir?
There are a lot of opportunities. If you look at now, particularly in the textile, I understand that the orders of exports have started coming from Europe and US. There are many exporters who are manufacturing textile goods and sending there. There are also engineering goods. Now, I see there are two ways of looking at it. Potential which was there earlier prior to COVID and got impacted because of COVID. In plotting those areas of manufacturing and understand whether post-COVID we are having the the businesses coming back or not. Second, replacement of the imports. Now we have been dependent on imports. If you understand recently, there are a lot of import goods which have come at the excise department level and they are held up there. There is no clearance given by the excise department where the goods come into the country. There are different reasons for that. One objective-oriented reason is that the government wishes all of us to depend on our own manufacturing. That is one of the greatest opportunities. Only thing is you can understand each category by looking at what are the goods which are being imported, whether in a short operating cycle, you will be able to manufacture them. Banks will always be ready to provide support. That is where the role of your association like CII and other people will come into picture. You will assess those areas where import is taking place and identify those manufacturers who are ready to step up their manufacturing or establish their manufacturing unit in a very shorter time-bound manner. Banker will always support them. There are certain states who have implemented one district, one product scheme. That is for lower SME segment, MSME segment. Such kind of an approach is required because marketing cannot be created by MSMEs. Only larger corporates can create market for themselves. So marketing creation help should be available from all the stakeholders in the economy, including central government, state government, and association like CII, Chamber of Commerce, and other people. So if that is the concerted approach, I don't see any reason why we can't step up our manufacturing capability.
I just want to. Hello. Just want to add.
सर एक बार खाली अपनी आईटी टीम को बोल के इको हो रहा है सर आपके वहीं से सर मेरे ख्याल से तो इफ यू कैन जस्ट आस्क योर आईटी टीम टू जस्ट लुक इनटू इट बिकॉज़ माय आईटी टीम सेज दैट इट इज हैपनिंग फ्रॉम योर ऑफिस सर
ओके
सॉरी सर यस
नहीं क्रॉस कनेक्ट हो रही थी एक मिनट जस्ट आजाद साहब कुछ कंटिन्यू करना चाहते थे
हम जस्ट एक लाइन जोड़ना चाह रहे हैं कि जस्ट सी there is opportunity what I have said. In addition to that, we have to make a survey and there is still shortage of SME products, what SME can build and say COVID related even item. Right. Many things, COVID related items, health related items, these are the place where we have to jump in and people have started doing. And bank is there to help even those lines also. So that line and the gap has to be selected and it differ from area to area. We cannot just say from here that something is somewhere where the role of CIE and others comes, which area, what we need, and the government comes.
Now, one example I'll give you, immediately after the COVID, even the COVID equipment, India was not having. They were importing from China. And after import, it appeared that the quality of the product was not there. So there was some time frame required. There were a couple of industries who have received, MSMEs who have received orders from the government of India. And few of them were our customers. Immediately, we have given funding to them or guarantee to them, and the manufacturer, that is, they have themselves manufactured. Yes. So these kind of advantages are there, but then we all need to work hard.
Yes.
Sir, one quick thing, Jyotiji, we have a large number of our members are concerned about two things, Ji. One, because of the
Aditya ji, your voice is cracking. The internet is not proper from their side.
Yeah, we are not able to understand.
आदित्य भैया नहीं आ रही है सर आवाज
नहीं आ रही है शेक हो रही है आवाज
Sir, we'll come back to you later, Aditya bhai, within 1-2 minutes once the internet gets better. So sorry for that. Now we have Srivat Gopala Krishnan. He is the co-chairman of the Young Indians. Yes, Srivat, you can.
Good afternoon, sir. First and foremost, thank you for giving us your time and explaining the various initiatives taken by the bank. I'm sure it will help all of us. So one thing which I would like to ask, so a lot of the industry have been significantly impacted is the hospitality and the travel and tourism.
Correct.
So I'm sure that the moratorium of 6 months that you have given has kind of helped them to defer and give them some cushion. But sir, there is no flow of funds at this point of time. What kind of initiatives or benefits or exemptions will you be able to provide post this 6 months as well? Because I'm sure there is no cash flow coming to this sector right now. So can you throw some light on that aspect?
Yeah, that's right. Very good. First of all, I'm very happy to see your background. So something is written there, which will signify your commitment to the working of our unit. Very good.
Incidentally, we are the statutory auditors for State Bank of India.
Oh, okay.
So it is just the plan for that.
Plan for that. Wonderful. Very nice. Now here, see, kindly keep it an important point. I do agree that these are the industries which will have tough time to come back immediately. It is something to do with the social behavior of the citizens of country in the days to come because of the COVID, not with any other reason that potential is not there. Because now you may not see the social gatherings or people visiting hotels or people undertaking traveling in a very aggressive manner in the immediate future. Probably after a year or so, things may be all right. Now coming back on as to how we can deal with them. One is moratorium is given. Moratorium is only up to August. And from September onwards, the moratorium period demand for installment and interest will not be required to be paid. They will be clubbed at the end of the repayment schedule. However, the major point comes from your discussion is that whether they will be able to come back to normalcy from September onwards. If they are not able to come, how it is going to help them? That is a big question for them to go. Now we'll cut that into two parts. Those who are able to come back, even the interest debited during the period in case of cash rate accounts will be converted into FITL, which needs to be again paid before 31st of March. You being a chartered accountant, you will understand much better. Now, the first point is that is where we have requested Reserve Bank of India to permit for deep restructuring. If you look at the decision taken by Fed in US, what they have done, they have decided to directly fund corporates. Fed in the US directly lend corporates, whereupon 2 years installment moratorium, 1 year interest moratorium, and longer duration of repayment. What does it indicate? It indicates that the normalcy restoration by some of the industries is not going to be very easy. It will take longer time. That is the reason why funding is done first year and second year, first year interest free, second year first year and second year installment free. That means installment starts from third year, interest starts from second year. First year interest gets capitalized. The fundamental point is realistically understanding the impact of COVID on the particular industry and accordingly projecting the cash flow, what they would come once they come to normality. So coming back to our Indian context, bankers together have requested through IBA, Reserve Bank of India, that you need to look at a one-time restructuring in all these accounts so that banker will undertake the restructuring properly by analyzing the cash flow. However, the account should not become NPA. As on today, if we do the restructuring, account is treated as an NPA. And that forbearance we have already requested. I believe in the recent board meeting they have discussed. However, things may come out after some time. We can wait and see because as on today still, we are unable to assess the cash flow of any unit because they have not come to normalcy. So probably in the month of September and October, you will have a better visibility in understanding about the cash flow, by which time I am expecting that some decision in this regard could come from Reserve Bank of India.
Rinki ji, nice to see you back. Sir, now Rinki ji is here, sir. She represents our women network in CII. Welcome, Rinki ji. Sir, Rinki ji, you have to unmute your phone. Yes, Rinki Dhingra. So you can just introduce yourself. Abhi unmute karna padega, Rinki ji.
Good evening, sir. I am Rinki Dhingra. I am the chairwoman of Indian Women Network, and it has been my privilege to be part of this webinar today and hear your views regarding helping out SMEs. I just wanted to know, one, from women perspective, if there are some special enablers, because sir, I was very happy to hear about MSME sector, the kind of initiative that Punjab National Bank is taking to help out this particular sector. I wanted to just know if there are some initiatives specifically for women entrepreneurs which they can access at the bank, sir.
Okay. See, women entrepreneur or otherwise, the access is free to everybody fundamentally with respect to MSME borrowers. In case of women, there is a special interest rate currently only for housing segment when we are giving to the women entrepreneurs. However, with your suggestion, we can look at as to how we can help women entrepreneurs with respect to the pricing of the product. Other than that, I don't think you require any handholding because you're second to none in terms of the capability and handling the entrepreneur vertical qualities are concerned. So opportunities are equal to you. However, in order to promote more women entrepreneurs to take initiative and come, it's a wonderful suggestion from you. Let me look at which is currently available in the housing segment, but in the MSME segment, we'll work out immediately to see whether we can provide any betterment of the interest rate little lower than the normal borrowers.
Fantastic, sir. That is very, very nice to hear. Now we have got Sir Atul Gupta ji. He represents the India's largest TP manufacturing company, which is Jackson Limited. Yes, Atul ji, you can go ahead, sir. He represents the corporate India.
Dear sir, thank you for the valuable inputs which you have shared. I mean, it's so good to see what Punjab National Bank is doing for MSME sectors and other sectors. So my question is, like, now since government is promoting a lot of Make in India products, so is the bank doing something to support the companies which want to manufacture products which we were importing from China?
See, there is nothing specific. The reason is we are there to support any MSME. Now, only thing is when you are undertaking a Make in India, under the Make in India banner, when you are manufacturing the unit, your competition lies in your cost of production being compared to the import cost. Otherwise, today in the market economy or free economy, people will purchase the goods at a lower cost with a higher quality what they can get as a consumer. And as a trader or manufacturer who is importing the goods, he will also import so long as he is getting more margin when he sells in the local market. These are the main competitors for an entrepreneur like you. When you undertake manufacturing in the country, the most important factor what you look at is whether your cost of production is competitive and cost of sales is competitive, so that you can have a better margin. Banker is there to help you, but then there are other stakeholders who also need to help. For example, if there is a import duty increase in some of the products, then cost of production at the domestic level will become more competitive. And the people who are importing will not import because the import duty is higher. That is the role of a government. Government has already done in some of the areas in this respect. So I am very sure when the government has taken the initiative of Make in India more effectively, particularly after COVID impact is played out in the country, and when we see that we need to definitely reduce imports, there are more guidelines coming up from there. So from bankers' perspective, we are there to help everyone, but our approach and our help will be limited to extending funding to you. Rather, you need to have help from other sources as well.
Sir, I'll just add one point over here. Like you're right in saying that the help can only come in the funding. But in case if there's any product which the India Inc. used to import, and if that is getting manufactured in India, can we look at maybe maybe a cheaper rate of interest at least for those products? Because
what did you say? What that is a lesser rate of interest?
Lesser rate of interest, at least for some set time being.
Product specific. Product specific.
It's a product specific for that.
Where you are sure that it is being imported till now, but manufacturing is to be done in order to replace the imports.
Correct.
What I would request you is you kindly send your suggestion. Let me look at how we can work on that.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
And sir, another thing was the rate of interest benefits. Sir, you look at how much the RBI has reduced the repo rate of interest and how much the industry has got benefit. There are two issues when we discuss with the bankers, sir. One is the MCLR linking rate, sir, which is a reset date, which is creating an issue. And I'm sorry to say, but sir, in some of the customers or some of the members who are availed loan from your bank, they are also writing that the spread has also increased because of some rating issue and other things, sir. We understand, sir, now in this the time that the rate of interest, sir, the rating will definitely be under stress at this point of time. So the spread is definitely linked to that. And another, sir, the whatever the RBI or whatever the repo rate reduction that is getting, it is not being passed on to the members at large just because they are saying that it is linked to some of the MCLR reset date. So can that reset date be adjustable for the time being so that at least the rate of interest benefit can be passed on, sir?
Now listen to me carefully. I'll give you the answer in a systematic manner so that it is clear to every one of you. Number one, repo rate linked rate has come for retail and MSME. For retail, effective from 1st of October 2019 as per RBI guidelines, and also for MSE, micro and small, effective from 1st of October, and medium enterprises from 1st of April 2020. As a result, all the new funding to MSME and retail, the interest rate charged is only repo linked. When it is repo linked, the reduction in repo rate is automatically passed on. There is no intervention from the bank. Now the major point is, what about the existing MSME borrowers where the interest rate is linked to MCLR? All those borrowers have been given an option to switch over to RLLR. You can tell your people to reach out their branch and they can convert that at a nominal fee payment. They can check with the branch. If there is any issue, they can come back to us in a general manner. Everybody, there is an open offer for them to switch over to RLLR. Once they switch over to repo link based lending rates, automatically it will be passed on. There won't be any other problem. Now the other issue what you brought to my notice is, even though ratings are based on the ratings, interest rate has increased. This has happened in the month of September or August 2019. Afterwards, bank has not done that. Many of the cases who have represented to us, we have taken care of them. But my sincere suggestion to all of you is, better you go for switch over to RLLR. It is much better, and the any decrease in the repo rate will get automatically passed on. So there won't be any element of difference or impediment at the bank level.
Sir, there is another question with Aditya Balya ji has written it down because of the internet issue. I will just read down his question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Members are facing issue because of the red zone and the people cannot travel, and because of the local branches, they are not adequately staffed. So because of the manpower issues and the red zone issues. So some of the members are facing the difficulties in terms of documentation, disbursement, and also some of the regular banking transactions, sir. And plus, apart from that, because of the merger issues also, and because of the change in the person also, because the person might be knowing me for long, but now since the person has changed, so and I'm not able to visit the branch, can there be some sort of a mechanism where some sort of a digital intervention by the branch manager? It can be, time can be fixed that anybody can call him digitally, or there can be face-to-face meeting. He can explain the issue, or whatever is the mechanism that you think that our members can avail of, sir.
See, I'll split your question into two parts. One is grievance redressal. Yes. Second one is how we can ease in the process of documentation and disbursement. Now, coming to grievance redressal, after amalgamation of the bank, we have established the zonal offices in 24 locations. Earlier, we were having only in 13 locations, and now 24 locations. In all the zonal offices, if zonal manager belongs to A bank, the second and third category, third level executives belong to bank B and bank C. That means in every zone, there are 3 persons senior level, number 1, number 2, representing all the 3 banks. When I say today, it is only one combined entity, but they represent earlier Oriental Bank of Commerce and earlier United Bank of India. These 3 form together what we call as a grievance redressal executive team. we will be publishing very shortly in the couple of days a specific mail ID as well. So all the customers who have grievance which is related to amalgamation, they can refer their mail to this mail ID and it will be addressed on priority. So first part is in the next 1 week, that before this Saturday, we will ensure that the mail IDs are published. Everybody will be aware of that. So amalgamated related issues, they can refer to the respective zonal office, grievance redressal committee, they will take care of that. Already we have established that. It is just only a matter of giving the communication mail ID which they can take. Second part is related to documentation and disbursement. Disbursement anyway will take place by, if it is a working capital finance, it is only a matter of drawal by you. Only limit has to be created. Now documentation, I do agree that there are certain issues. These issues emanate from different kind of regulations applicable for each state. Because as you know, stamp duty, Indian stamp duty is different and state stamp duties are different. Majority of the documentation what bankers get executed, they all are under the separate state stamp duty relevant, so respective state stamp duty. We are also working, as on today it is not there, but we are also working on electronic e-signing of the document so that people need not visit the branch, but that is going to come after some period of time. But as on today, what we can do is, like you have suggested, we can schedule their visit and complete the documentation. They need to come only once for the documentation. Subsequently, they will have to utilize by operating from their account either digitally or through the check. So this can be addressed on case-to-case basis. If there is any issue with any MSME borrower, they can refer to us the same grievance redressal mail ID what we will share with you, and it can be resolved. We will give the instructions accordingly.
I suppose Aditya ji, it is resolving your issue, I suppose, Aditya. Okay, thanks Aditya bhai. So there is another question from the members. They are saying that these 4 months it can be excluded because in March, April, May, June, these 4 months it can be excluded and it should be treated as a blackout period for any of the projections or anything, because whatever the projections that we are giving for the next year, for my loan renewal or for anything, so this should be considered only as my 8 months period. Based on that, the interpolation for 1 year it should be done, sir. And this for 4 months it should be given as a blackout period, and it should not be considered as my whole year per projection, whatever is my given to you, sir.
There is no issue, it can be done. They will let us see the economy coming back in the month of September. We will definitely give instructions accordingly. That is why in the initial stage I have indicated to you that we will assess the your projections based on pre-COVID situation. So it can be done. Suppose we take for 6 months, it can be extrapolated to 12 months.
And sir, what is your take on the long-term financing or also on this corporate financing? Because sir, whatever that we are speaking about, it is all about MSMEs and other things. But sir, we also understand that in case if the corporate India doesn't bounce back, then all our retail loan portfolio and all the MSME loan portfolio, so they are also depending on the large corporates. So when do you think that the bank will start looking at the large companies proposal, or when do you think that the large ticket size funding can start happening in the bank, sir?
See, on the contrary, I will question you, where is the demand? See, we are flush with funds, we have the money, but it is a public money. When it is a public money, we have to be very conscious in deploying. See, you go back for the last 2-3 years, various industries which have gone to NBFC, ongoing industries, there has been settlement. I'll give an example. Bhushan Steel has been taken over by Tata. Now Tata is running the unit extremely well. That means where the capacity of Tata to invest in a fresh unit is not required now, because he has got additional capacity utilization through purchase of a unit. Now that unit is functioning where they are augmenting the capacity utilization. I've only given one example. Similarly, many of the ongoing industries through IBC have been resolved, where capacity utilization opportunity is given to the existing units who are invested. So the new industry to come up, the opportunity has come down in terms of that. Mind you, Government of India has given a tax reforms, structural reforms, effective from 1st of October 2019. They brought down the taxes for the new industries to come up after 1st of October. How many of them have come out as on today? So far, we are yet to see the demand. That is on the industry side. On the infrastructure segment side, we are expecting that probably government itself will create the impetus, more importantly in the road segment. So we are expecting that government may come out in once the COVID is over, then definitely opportunities will arise. We are always open for investment. We are doing that also, but of course numbers are less as on today. So infrastructure development for our country is very, very important. It has been done extremely well in the last few years, but a lot is expected to be done, and bankers will be part of that.
So people are saying that one of the members is saying that he wanted to shift it to the PNB bank account from a private sector bank, but because of the rating and because of the other takeover norms, he is not able to come back to PNB. Can this rating issue and can this takeover norms, because you understand this private sector banks, I'm not here to compare between the PSU and a private sector bank. There are some of our members who wanted to shift the account to your bank, but because of the takeover norms and also the credit rating criteria, they are not able to do so.
See, there are two things. I cannot comment offhand because of that. If there is a 2-page information which is sent to us, a teaser information, then we can immediately respond. If somebody wants a mail ID, MSME ka mail ID,
individual basis, SME
you can write down the mail ID.
Yes, sir.
Or you can send the.
It is sme@pnb.co.in.
sme@pnb.co.in. ठीक है सर.
sme@pnb.co.in.
If they send a teaser information of 2 pages related to their unit and other things, they should include everything: turnover, what is the current lending, and all these details. If they give, then we can scrutinize at our end and we can advise them.
So the another issue, can this credit rating criteria be relaxed at least for a year?
We have relaxed already.
See, in our bank, up to 25 crores of the lending for MSME, we are not insisting the rating.
Because sir, for this for the entire corporate sector, this rating issue will be a criteria, sir.
That is an RBI guideline, my dear. That is an RBI guideline. The only problem is for MSME, there is a a different yardstick. That is the reason why we have in our bank taken a decision that up to 25 crores of lending for MSME advances, we will not insist for the external rating. We undertake internal rating.
So people are discussing that they have a drawing power issue later on once this August moratorium period is over. Sir, how this drawing power issue? Because at the present moment the current ratio may be 0.9 or 0.8 because of the data period which is not been included, and also the because the stock has to be valued at the book or the current market value, whichever is lower. So this drawing power issue is going to come up very recently, maybe by the August, and this drawing power issue will be faced by the members.
See, theoretically you are correct, but practically it depends upon each unit. What we have done when we have allowed them to reduce the margin by allowing them within the DP, we have permitted. That is, our Ajad Sahab has spelled out 3 categories. One is COVID-19, 10% of the credit urgently we have given. Second, reducing the margin within the DP, allowed them to draw additional amount. Now again, Government of India scheme of 20%. After September, the borrower himself has to assess what is his status, and we can reassess the working capital limit. That is permitted by the RBI and our policy based on the projections of the business. If the projections of the business permit for additional funding, we can do. Again here the margin issue will come. Now for shoring up the margin, we can look at as to how we can deal with the borrower, but that will depend upon case to case basis, because ideal requirement is current ratio 1.33, but because of the margin reduction it would have come down to 1 or even 0.95. but how he can bring back the capital over a period of time can be addressed on case to case basis once he submits the projections for the proposal.
Sir, in the non-fund based limit, what is happening that LC is coming down for the renewal or LC is coming down for encashment. At that point of time, if my 10% limit has been utilized and my 20% limit has been utilized, and my LC and BGs are due after that period, so what would happen to that period? Sir, will you assess the requirement at that point of time, or will you convert the NFB to fund-based limit at that point of time?
See, again, it will depend on each case, because already as per the announcement given by RBI on 31st of March, even the bills realization period also we have extended. In case of bills to be paid under LC, if the goods have been supplied, if they are to come within, if he has to pay within certain period, we have given the elongated period. So the enough flexibility has been created in the system. However, once the normalcy is restored at the time of assessment, we can address these issues.
So people are little apprehensive about the appraisal which is going to take place right now. They are saying that the turnover will be less, profit would be less, but my working capital cycle has increased. How will I approach? How will I go and face my branch manager?
No. See, I have already indicated to you the projection for the residual part of the year will be taken and it will be extrapolated for the entire year when we calculate the working capital. So that is why what I suggest is let them reach out to the branches. It is possible that branches may not have that kind of an expertise to give them the guidance, but we will be there to support them. That is why we will create grievance redressal in every zonal office so that they will take care of that.
So due to centralization of export business at back office level, exporters are facing problem in negotiation, getting packing credit in time, as now branch is working only as a post office and they do not have any delegation or address the concern of the borrowers or the exporters, sir.
See, on the contrary, I'll put forth a question. So long as the exporter is able to handle the branch, some exporters even they will tell tomorrow I'll give the documents, you kindly give the money today. Now these kind of things RBI doesn't permit. And there is a high level of compliance required at the negotiation of the bills and submit details to RBI. In every bank, they have migrated to back office. Now, after migration to back office, if there are genuine issues of the borrowers, we can definitely take care of them. The genuine issues emanate from timelines they have to look for getting immediately the packing credit and post shipment credit. We will take care of that. And the zonal officers will be empowered to address those issues. On their own.
Our system is now established. There was problem. Certainly, it was March, before March, maybe October, November. Thereafter, the system is totally established. Still, someone have a problem. Let us raise to us. We'll look into from here, and that will be set right.
Fantastic.
Now, people are very happy with this system.
Sir, Ajaz sir, they are saying that you have mentioned about the debt restructuring fund for the stress NP under the MSME government policy. Sir, what is the procedure and whether the branch would be, whether there are special branches for it or whether the same branches we have to go and approach, or because my account is under that stress managed account, there is something which the PNB has.
It's the same branch probably will issuing guidelines maybe within by tomorrow. Or
in next couple, because this scheme has come only recently
today
from Government of India.
Yesterday rather.
Yesterday only it came. We are finalizing that. In the next couple of days it will come.
But certainly in the same branch.
Sir, there is a last date to apply for that 20% scheme? I suppose you have mentioned it is in the by the month of August also we can get that 20% scheme last date, sir.
No.
20% scheme is Government of India scheme. There is a
Government of India scheme. So what is the last date for applying for that? Anything?
31st October.
Sir, there is a compliance issue at the branch which you have already mentioned, that there is a lot of post compliances issue with the people are facing at the branch level. Because there is saying that some of the banks which has taken that they can do it on email, some documentation and other thing, and the disbursement are happening, but it's not been happening at your bank, sir.
No, we can work out on that. If any one example comes to us, we can understand with the borrower by talking to him, which will be helpful for all the borrowers.
Sir, he's mentioning the another bank name is SBI. He's saying, although I didn't want to mention, but he's saying that because of that.
Nothing wrong. Today, see, we are living in competition. As you are living in competition, in order to sell your products, we are also living in competition. If somebody says SBI, another person can say HDFC also. There is nothing wrong. It is a matter of measuring up to the requirement of the customers.
Jyoti Prakash, if you can ask some of
so you can ask somebody. We can do one case study. We can do case study with one borrower.
Documentation भेजने के लिए बोल देता हूँ मिश्रा सर.
एक आदमी से हम केस स्टडी करेंगे तो हम सब लोगों को फायदा होगा.
Some of the entrepreneurs who are connected,
correct sir, they are there sir.
They can get directly interact with that.
Particularly that SME at the rate PNB, you can send
email sir. We will just say.
उसमें भेज दीजिए, immediately respond करेंगे.
यहाँ कोई है भी तो कुछ पूछना चाहे तो you can do that.
Sir, there is one more thing, sir. Branch managers are asking for 3-year projection for this 20% loan, whereas the government has told it has to be automatic loan, sir.
It is automatic only. Yeah, and if somebody is asking, probably it is the options of understanding on that.
Rather, we have sent the pre-approved letter.
Yes.
SMS. It's a pre-approved.
So वो case आप immediately SME को refer करिए, उसको resolve कीजिए.
Nothing is required in this.
We'll resolve the issue.
For that we are
Only
compliant.
thing is, kindly keep it in mind, he should be a standard borrower as on the date, and there should not be any other issues of CIBIL or other related. But anyway, he is a standard borrower. You can send the message to SM, that is mail to them. They will address the issue on priority.
Sir, can there be a loan tracking? Is there any loan tracking mechanism into the bank? If I have applied for a loan, I can just track it with that loan. Is there any mechanism like that, sir?
Currently it is not there. Very shortly it will come through our corporate website. One can track the loan. We are working on that. We have already taken a application software. Because of the amalgamation, 3 islands are isolated. Now all are being brought under one grip. Probably from 1st of October, it will be available to everyone. They can track by logging into our corporate website.
So there are some intelligent entrepreneurs or the borrowers, I suppose, they are asking that, don't you think is the right time to switch over majorly, at least from the cash flow assessment of limit against the, say, whatever the methodology of assessment?
It is always, it's
My dear,
always in
see,
favor of bank.
it is always cash flow based assessment only we make. Only thing is, their cash flow assessment has 2 dimensions. One
cash
is
mechanism, yes, sir.
Yeah, one is when you are giving funding, primary asset created out of the loan which is given, whether it's a term loan or working capital. Okay, then here cash flow is based on whatever operating cycle you are going to give it. Second is the security based approach where somebody gives a mortgage property and we are lending. Now there are certain industries where you will not find the visibility of any asset, but it is only cash flow. So that is where the issue arises. When we do the cash flow, what kind of a asset is created out of the funding given? So cash flow based approach is still there with us. Some of the industries it is done, and some of the industries it is not done. For example, discounting of the toll is a cash flow based. If we are doing the funding, so it is there in the banking.
Sir, there is one question from an NBFC. He's saying that can the bank look at funding for those portfolio which their NBFCs are lending to MSME which are covered under those credit guarantee scheme? So can bank look at those portfolio or funding to those MSMEs or those NBFCs who are in turn funding to MSMEs who are covered under that guarantee scheme, instead of appraising of the NBFC as a general criteria, if there can be a different criteria that can be adopted for the NBFC who is in turn funding to MSME covered under this credit guarantee scheme?
See, first you understand, let us be very clear in our understanding that when he is lending under the guarantee scheme, even if I fund that, I will not get any guarantee from the government. It is as good as
portfolio is there.
No. So that is what I'm saying. It is as good as a portfolio. So it comes under the portfolio purchase category. We are doing that for various NBFCs. We are undertaking portfolio purchase, but there is a requirement of rating for the portfolio to be done under the guarantee differently available from the government of India. So if any NBFC is there like that, they can talk to us. Then we can tell them the covenants which are required for undertaking such kind of an activity. Then we can take it forward.
Sir, for partial guarantee scheme launched by the government, it should include the new loan too, because it is guaranteed by the government. Why there is a seasoning requirement again into the partial guarantee scheme, which is covered by the government?
I think that is in the domain of government for discussion.
That's there. But
you stop calling partial. You remove partial word, everything will be all right.
Lending schemes.
Yes, we are open to lending.
Sir, assessment, whatever is that, cash credit system, it should be promoted for this instead of the transaction based funding. It should be given, which is an invoice based, as you have already mentioned, that the invoice based discounting mechanism and other things which is also coming up for this MSME at this point of time. Sir,
see, invoice based funding has once again 2 dimensions. One is so long as the customer of that particular MSME, he is a member of trades, already it is being done. So there is no issue on that. If he is a member, any banker on a bidding basis is funding the receivables. Now, other than those who are in the trades platform, invoice funding is still in the nascent stage. It can be taken up, definitely. We can look at that.
Sir, there is one thing, sir. Client is saying that his fund-based outstanding is 24 crore and non-fund-based outstanding is 4.32 crores. Can he avail for funding under this scheme? I think so. In case if it's a turnover is less than 100 crore, he can be able to avail that scheme, sir.
Yeah,
Because
correct,
you are
correct.
only considering the fund-based limit only while calculating this, not the non-fund-based
Correct,
limit.
correct, correct.
The corollary to that, he is saying that since his LC got due, so that time on that particular date that LC was getting converted to that fund-based limit, so that is why the limit has got enhanced. But in the original sanction letter, the limit is fund-based, which is less than 25 crore. But since the LC got default, so that is why the bank got converted to fund-based.
See, what happens, while all these interpretations are always subject to debate, our government comes out with a formulatic approach. So the formula clearly indicates as on 29th of February, if the funded outstanding is less than 25 crores only, the applicability comes into picture. Otherwise, for the bank to look at funding, it is altogether a normal banker to customer approach which can be looked at. Under the scheme, we are governed by the guidelines given by Government of India.
Sir, don't you think that from 1st of July, the new MSME definition has come in and also this 3 lakh crore of funding also I don't think that we will be able to disperse this entire amount of 3 lakh crore. So it's the right time that we look at the revised definition of MSME and we extend this portfolio to also the much more MSME at last, sir.
I would request you to send the suggestion to Government of India, DFS.
Sir, that's we are definitely pursuing this out, sir.
They are also assessing this, so they can look at definitely.
And they are saying that you have already mentioned that the MSME account, it should be linked to RLLR, sir. In case if that has not been done, can it be done now?
That is what I said. That is a changeover request he should give, which is called a switchover request. For all the new accounts, it is mandatory. For all the existing accounts, they can request for switchover.
Fantastic, sir. I suppose we are already out of time, sir. We are already 5:50, sir. We have been taken time up to just 5:30 baje ka time. I think, sir, we'll just take it 1 or 2 more questions, which is there. So there is one question which is on the real estate sector, sir. He's saying that we are treated like he's written some more word, but he's not been treated properly, whatever is the real estate sector loan is concerned. So don't you think because my project is at the last stage, mild funding or something more funding that can be considered, at least आप real estate बोल के मुझे मेरे से बात ही ना करे ये नहीं हो sir. At least you look at my proposal or look at thing and at least I should be allowed or encouraged to speak to branch, sir.
See, listen to me. I am 100% sympathetic towards the gentleman or the entrepreneur, but bankers are once bitten, twice shy. That was the problem. Now, here, what I would like to suggest is real estate. It is not only the bankers. If you have seen, the funding in a very high level has happened from NBFCs, and more impact was on NBFCs. If you recall, October 2018 onwards, NBFCs had a lot of trouble in terms of the liquidity. Because the asset liability mismatch, they were anticipating monetizing their assets where they have lent to real estate, which did not take place. And real estate, as an individual, when there is a sympathy for him, he also should look at that majority of the real estate in the country have never tried to reduce the pricing in order to see that this sale takes place out of the inventory. There are multiple reasons. Now, coming back to this particular project, Government of India has already started an AIF, Alternate Investment Fund, which is currently being managed by SBI Caps. So if he approaches SBI Caps to whichever bank he is banking, the SBI is assessing and last mile funding is done. If there is a visibility of completion of the project in a shorter duration of time, and if there is a visibility for cash flow to come, he should not worry. He can apply to SBI Capital Markets. Because we have contributed to that fund. All the bankers have contributed to the Alternate Investment Fund, which is managed by SBI Caps to ensure last mile funding.
Sir, in consortium lending, there are some private banks, if they are not giving that 20% loan of their share, can PNB come in, and in case if can some other banks take that entire share of 20%, sir?
No, it is not possible because government guideline is very clear. The outstanding with PNB as on 29th of February only will be eligible for calculating 20%. Private banks also have to take care of this requirement. It is difficult for them to refuse.
So they are saying that in some of the private bank and some of the bank this 20% they are giving 10% or 15% का loan दे रहे हैं, 20% का loan नहीं दे रहे हैं, sir. They are saying that this is.
No, that is then it is a grievance which I cannot do anything. You will have to take it up with government.
It's a grievance that way, sir. Definitely.
Yes, that has to be taken up as a grievance. Sir, your account opening form, they are saying that it is as compared to the other private sector bank, it is little complicated that way. So can that account opening form or that? Which account opening? Which account? Savings account or borrow account?
Savings account particularly, sir.
I'm really surprised. On the contrary, it will be more complex for private banks. They will ask you how many vehicles you are holding, how many family members are there in the house, whereas we don't ask all those details. However, we'll go through because we have already revised very recently. I'm surprised to understand that it is complex. I don't think it is going to be complex, but we'll go through that because there are minimum requirement of information which we have to gather.
So there is a term loan from the PNB. I'm not mentioning the branch name and other things just for the sake. He's saying that the branch is saying that 20% of the outstanding, it has to be done only for the government use and also for your salaries only. So for your salaries and government use में जितना amount due होता है, out of that I will release only that much of amount. Balance amount he is reluctant to release that way. Is there any particular guidelines?
No, you ask him to immediately send the mail to SME at PNB. We will resolve that.
We will do that.
Yes.
I think, Sir Deepak Gupta, you have got an answer that you should send an limit. You should send an email to the bank for that.
SME@pnb.co.in. Our team will talk to the branch to understand what he requires, and the grievance can be addressed.
Fantastic, sir. So I suppose, sir, there are a lot of other things, sir. I think we will send all these questions. These are all related to MSME and also related to those things, sir. We can take it over that way, sir. Sir, anything else, sir, as your last concluding remark, Mallikarjun Rao, sir, and Ayaz, sir, whatever is your last.
I can only say I'm really impressed by the young entrepreneurs.
Yes,
the
sir.
couple of 2-3 people and that women entrepreneur as well. They are the future for our country. So let them come back to the normalcy with animal spirits, work hard for the country. We are there to support them.
So Rinki ji and Varun, I suppose you have the right message for your members to take it up. And I suppose Aditya ji, anything else as your last comment, or can I start the vote of thanks, sir?
Thank you so much for your words of encouragement, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinki.
I just want to thank the both Mr. Rao Sagat for very patiently going through even the most basic questions, and I think there has been a confidence giving to all the MSMEs that their grievances and their issues will be resolved, and so we look forward to coming back with you, sir, with some good stories of how this webinar allowed our members to actually get a lot of their issues properly sorted.
Mallikarjun Rao, sir, you were extraordinarily brilliant, sir. It was one of the finest discussions that we could have, sir. And you could discuss freely and frankly also solve sort of issues, sir. Thanks for giving us this opportunity for coming and interacting with you. Each and every word, I suppose, which you spoke, it clearly demonstrated your experience and hands-on approach, sir. I just wanted to highlight few points just for you to take it up, whatever this summary of that discussion was that. Sir, some sectors which may not be the blue-eyed boy of the bankers right now, like real estate, auto ancillary, it requires your sympathetic approach, and it will go a long way in the nation building approach, sir. If you can just look at that, how that auto ancillary and how those, because there are a lot of employment issues, there are a lot of other, because these things are there, sir, how we can look at that. Rating downgrade would be a common phenomenon this year, sir. I suppose bankers and the corporates would be properly equipped to deal with that issue, sir. Thirdly, sir, 8 out of top 10 commodities has fluctuated by more than 70% in this year alone.
Correct.
So how this appraisal and the reassessment, when the cash flow assessment, how will I predict my cash flow into the long term and into the short term? That is again an assessment issue, sir.
See, there are two ways. One is value based, another is product based. If the production number remains the same, or you are projecting more production in number, even though valuation has undergone tremendous change, we can still look at a proper assessment.
Sir, so this is where absolutely correct, sir. So in terms of the quantitative approach, you would go by rather than getting into the cash flow approach or getting into the quantitative.
See, it is not a new thing. Even when I started my banking, we used to do that. When there is an abnormal variation in the pricing, we always go by the quantitative approach.
Sir, we would wait for that restructuring guidelines to come in, and thereafter, I suppose we will come back to you in case if anything missed out, we'll come back to that.
Sure.
Lastly, sir, MSME require a very, very sympathetic approach in these difficult times. We hope that your broad-heartedness will take India's MSME a long way, sir.
It is not sympathy, it is empathy.
Sir, thank you so much, sir.
Nobody says that I want sympathy because it is a working condition. Empathetic approach is very important. That means to understand their concern.
Sir, we don't have any words that we are not even delighted. We are thrilled to have you here in our webinar, sir. In terms of whatever the way that you have given us the confidence, you can look at the smiles of each and every members that you have brought to us. Because what was happening in this last 3-4 months, whatever that we discuss among our members, whatever we discuss among industrialists, it doesn't give that much of a positive vibes. But this 1.5 hours interaction with you, sir, I suppose, sir, we will go home with lot of positive vibrations with you, sir. Thank you for giving us this positive vibes and to give us the confidence that you and your entire bank is standing behind each and every entrepreneur of the country, sir.
See, as a banker, what we believe is when everything is lost, the future still remains.
Future still remains. Sir, that's where the projection is. Sir, we'll take time with your office also to come and discuss some of the issues which are there, sir. Whenever that we'll take the time from your office and we'll come with some of the members of the young Indians and also the women entrepreneurs who are there. Sure. We'll just set. We'll just be there at your office.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, it is B.N. Mishra, sir, Ashok Gupta ji, Ram Kumar, sir, Thera, sir. Thank you so much.
Mr. Rajiv Puri is also there. He is the Chief General Manager.
Chief General Manager.
Looking after retail, MSME and agriculture all.
Sir, thank you, sir. Ajaz sir, I don't have words to say. Mallikarjun Rao sir, you are as usual as brilliant, sir. So whenever we hear you, we always get something motivated with you. Thank you so much. With folded hand, I on behalf of CCII.
Thank you. Thank you, Jyoti Prakash, Aditya, and all your young friends for this opportunity. It's an opportunity for us also to be the platform where we come to know feelings from other side. And only be rest assured, we are there at your doorstep for every requirement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mishra sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Entire my CCI team. Thank you, Ram Kumar sir, once again, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. Thank you. Good talk. Thank you. Bye.
सर प्राइवेट बैंक को कोई लोन नहीं
वो क्या कर रहे हैं?